Peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. Well, happy Sunday. I thought I would just do something a little different today because I don't feel like being on camera. I don't feel like being seen. And, sometimes it's that way and I'll do it anyway. But I also figured out that I can do something different. I can sit in front of my altar. So today is a Sunday and the sun is governed by the sun is in Aries at the second degree. And we are in the spring equinox. I don't know how you all are feeling, but I will say that I am feeling an intensity, a fiery energy. And my spiritual guidance since last night has been very strong to really speak more transparently about Black people and who we are and what we're up to. And this makes me nervous. It does, because it's something that I, that's an interesting identification for me. That's all I can really say. When I was growing up, I've grown up, I grew up in Watts, I went to Howard University, I've been around Black people all my life. I am Black. I am. I understand the power of who we are, and I can also feel inside of me the conditioning that makes me feel like I should be humble, or, don't be too, don't talk too much, don't stand out too much, don't acknowledge the gifts and the achievements of Black people. Don't, be more focused on the things that we struggle with and the places where we come from that are so painful. But, and I feel like I have suffered in those stories a lot, and I've done a lot of work to heal and understand the truth of who I am and this universe and what it means to be a Black person in America. And what I keep landing on is how freaking dynamic we are. Like, how amazing we are, how we have built this country, how we have gone through all of these incredible, horrific traumas, and still we are here creating and dynamic and powerful and beautiful and compassionate and, magical. All of that is true. How is that true? How could that be? It's such a profound thing when I consider it, because I come from the space where I witnessed Black people suffering so much, and I've read the stories and I've studied the history and I've seen it, and it's like, and we're still here like this. And we're still here like this. We are an incredible, dynamic people. What is it about us, And so the sun today is in Aries at the first degree, and the first degree is innocence. And it's so interesting because my Chiron is at the first degree of Aries. So the sun is conjunct my Chiron, and Chiron is the wounded healer. Chiron is the place where we are betrayed, and then we have to heal that. And for me, that wound was through my father and his struggle with who he was as a Black person. It was so profoundly challenging for him in the 40s to be true to himself as a Black person, and he was in such pain and agony because of it. And as I have done the work to heal my own masculine energy and recognize how that plays out with the cosmology, because we all are cosmic beings, really, when I study mythology and, the ancients, Osset, um, the goddess of the moon, the Kemetic goddess of the moon, put her beloved Asar back together. His brother, um, the ego, killed him and broke him. And then that inner reality, that love, that divine feminine came and put him back together and remembered him. She remembered him. She put his members back together. And that is what I have done for myself. I have remembered my masculine and feminine energy through this lineage experience with my parents. And it has taken me into a deep study of the psychological experiences of Black people and really just see that we are all these incredible divine beings. And I don't know if I'm making sense, because I don't even know if I really have the language to articulate it appropriately. But for people who understand it, and for those of us who are remembering right now, you hear me and you know what I'm talking about. You don't need me to make sense of it. You can feel it. You can feel it. And for those of us who can't feel it, that's okay, because you will. Because the more of us that start to wake up and feel it, it is going to expand like a virus. We're going to all begin to wake up because it's contagious. It's contagious. Just the way Black people built this country, and this country has been this thing that the world has come to focus on. Out of the creation of our loins, our blood, our bones, this country is what it is. It's run in ways that creates more suffering because of the intention behind it, but the structure, the makeup of this country is greatness. And Black people did that. Yes, other people contributed, but Black women, other races, but Black women gave birth to the thousands and hundreds of thousands and likely millions of people that toiled the land, built things, like all of that. We are the foundation of it. And it's just important for us to begin to see ourselves in this miraculous way, that we are so powerful that we could endure all of this and still be here today. And with the sun in Aries at the first degree of innocence, it's like coming back home to ourselves and remembering ourselves, the innocence. It's the innocence. That nothing was ever wrong, that we had these experiences. A lot of spiritual studies and a lot of spiritual practices and influences believe that God just wants to have the experience of everything possible. And that would include slavery and all of these painful things, that all of that is God. All of that is God as us. And if that is true, in my perspective, if that is true, then God would have to choose the most powerful, dynamic beings to have the experience of what Black people have been in this country. That is a divine power. It is God created. And we see it through the lens of the European Western mind, which is so fucking limited. They know nothing. If we can see it through our own experience of it and understand the dynamic gifts of what we have created, endured, participated in, built, we will see ourselves as the gods that we are. If we could get outside of our experience and look at it from another purview, if you could begin to see yourself in the ways that others see you, you will see that we are powerful, powerful people, and begin to ask the questions about that. What does that mean? What can I do? What am I capable of? Just really getting it at a deeper level. Because what I have discovered as I've studied nature, the things that are able to endure the greatest amounts of oh, of pressure, and pain can also endure the greatest amounts of pleasure, because the pendulum has to swing back the other way. But that it takes power to be able to transmute that pain, that difficulty, that's my foot, that difficulty from the pain and into pleasure and power. It takes power to do that, and you need a lot of power to do it. So the question is, what is it like? The universe is always balanced, and there's a fairness, there's a harmony in the universe, and like they say, God doesn't give you more than you can handle. But the handling of it isn't a suffering. The handling of it is a miracle, a magic, a mystery, a gift, a potential, a power. That's what the handling of it is. So today, the moon is also at the second degree of Cancer. The second degree moon is purity. Well, right now it's at the second degree. And so literally, it's like come home to your own innocence before the stories, the history, the police. Come home, good. Let all that go for a moment and touch the purity of who you are inside of yourself in a deep way. There's a place inside of you that is not attached to this experience, that is really free. And for those of us who can hear me, you know what I speak of. And for those of you who can't, it's okay. You will, because we're all beginning to remember. All right, peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. Bye-bye.